Hello everyone, meteorologist Jordan Darrensburg here. I hope everyone has enjoyed their Monday so far. It is a new week, it is a new grind. Hopefully y'all are able to go out and enjoy your Monday. Hopefully you're getting some good work done or taking a break to watch this handsome meteorologist give you a really nice live weather and traffic update. Trust me, bosses, we won't judge you if they do. Please don't judge them, bosses, if they do too. But with that said, let's take a live look at the FWIW pedestrian bridge. And there you see it right there, looking really nice just before 9:30 on this Monday morning. So let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to be tracking during this live stream. We have the possibility of some much hotter temperatures in the hill country today than the rest of Central Texas. We're expecting lower 90s in the Austin area. It would tie a record at the airport, but it would be just shy of the daily heat record at our main reporting site. That would be Camp Mabry, where we would get to 94 to tie that mark. We do have a front that does come through, and we will be a little bit cooler on Tuesday, but not really all that much. We're expecting highs only in the lower 80s before we get to around 90 for your Good Friday. But by Easter weekend, check this out. Above average precipitation is looking more and more likely even west of the hill country, and that could be really good news for our Highland Lake system if they get significant rains, because that's all going to cascade on down into Lake Buchanan and the aforementioned Lake Travis. Right now, we've got a 70 on the map at the airport, 69 at Camp Mabry, and temperatures right now looking at upper 60s and lower 70s across the metro. And we do see lower 70s in places like Cameron as well as LaGrange, Lockhart, and Luling checking in at 70 apiece. And here are your highs for today, getting to the lower 90s, like what I talked about. Could have some compressional heating out ahead of a frontal boundary in the hill country, along with that slightly drier air out there. That's why some of those areas could get to the upper 90s, maybe even triple digits out there, with Mason checking in at 97 before low 90s across the entirety of the Austin metro, as well as Wilco and maybe even Hayes counties as well. This would be the 11th 90-degree day of 2025. Well ahead of the previous record of 1967 of 790-degree days between the start of the new year and today, 2023. Most recently, we got to 5 of these, so we've already doubled that total from a couple of years ago. We are going to be a little bit on the breezy side as we head throughout the early portions of today. Winds could gust to around 25 miles an hour before things do start to simmer down as that front does make its way through. Your allergy count does have oak, grass, ash, cedar, and mold, all in the medium count, and you can find this allergy count each and every day on KVUW.com and the KVU app. And we are going to be dry most of the week, but look at this for Good Friday and then eventually your Saturday and your Easter Sunday, getting to the 20% range, which is pretty good considering that we have been dry all this time, save for a few days ago where we had 2 inches of rain in sections of the hill country. Neither of these models have that particular situation playing out, but we do have mainly around 1/4 of an inch for most of that, or just a little bit less so. But some areas in the hill country may get up to 1/2 an inch, maybe even more than that, and both the European and GFS models are in agreement with that. But as we take a look at the next 7 days, we do have the low 90s today, low 80s tomorrow behind that front, before rising up back to 94 Good Friday, and then really good storm chances for your Saturday and Sunday. And that is pretty much it. It's about 5 to 6 days out. There is a lot that needs to be determined between now and then. That was a quick look at your weather. Now we are going to go ahead and look at your traffic here real quick. And we are looking at the roads that are sort of improving because everyone's pretty much gotten to work, but we did have several crashes that we were tracking earlier this morning, including 3 in around this general area. There was one right there on South Congress that has since cleared, and a couple of those around Highway 71 and 290 Ben White Boulevard. Those areas have cleared as well. And we did have another crash up in North Austin that's cleared, and we also had a rollover crash right along 183 in Mustang Ridge. That's all cleared. But Buda still a bottleneck, 32 miles an hour coming in from there. But as we take a look at some of your other thoroughfares, 183 looking good, still slow coming in from Maynard on 290, a little sluggish coming in from Round Rock on 35 at 43 miles an hour. Same story for Westlake Hills and Oak Hill coming in for 290 on those areas. So pretty much all we've got is a very toasty afternoon. Traffic's starting to clear up, thankfully. So definitely good news there. And let's see if anyone has any questions of any sort. Doesn't look like anyone has any questions right now. We're at 18 of y'all on the live. Again, temperatures right now, if you are looking for the Austin Metro, looking at upper 60s and lower 70s. Doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of questions, so we're going to have an editorial meeting in about 5 minutes. We're going to go over a lot of things, including your forecast for the rest of the day. And again, we're going to meet, and I'm going to meet with the rest of the news team. We're going to go over all of this so that we can keep y'all informed. And I will be right back here on KV News Midday at 11 a.m. Thank y'all so much for joining us, and y'all have a great Monday.